Here I go. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Black Feather Guild. So we're starting our brand new season today, starting with Where Things Go South, a Monster of the Week game GM'd by Polished Cryptid. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. It's going to be pretty fun. Before we get into introducing the cast and everything, though, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you all about viewer actions, how you can actually get involved in the game from the audience. A bunch of really cool ways that you can do that. One of the easiest ways to do so is through the tweet of the game, which I'm going to toss in chat here. So if you follow that link, it'll take you to the tweet announcing the game. For every 10 interactions on that, that's likes, retweets, and comments, we'll add a D4 to the cast pool and the DM pool that they can use on any role that they would like at any point. And with this being Monster of the Week, D4s are particularly powerful because this is typically just a 2d6 system. So that's one of the easiest ways. Another way that you can get involved is through guild coins, which you can see right over this direction, right over there, what those can get you. There's a few other things that you can get with guild coins other than the plot points, but you can see the different amounts here and what those plot points do. So anything from inconsequential to a major plot effect. And that can be something as simple as renaming a business or an NPC for one plot point, or all the way up to giving the cast a boon or a curse. And that typically is them getting something that they really need right when they most need it. You're free to put in suggestions for each thing for all the different plot point allotments, and the DM does have final say on what gets added into the game. But we do try to take your suggestions as close to what they are on the text as possible. But there's a lot of really cool options you have there. There's a full description in the panels down below, or if you click on any one of those plot points in the guild coin section, it'll have a full description as well. And if you're not familiar with how the channel points work on Twitch, there's a little icon right below the Twitch chat box that you can click on, and that'll show you how many you have and what you can spend those on. You get those just for watching the stream, going on raids with us, that sort of thing. And if you're a subscriber, you earn those at twice the speed. So it's pretty cool. Speaking of subscriptions, that is one of the ways that you can also do viewer actions. Subscriptions, bits, and direct donations through coffee.com/raven or raven.rocks. You can see all of those right here. There's a whole list of things that you can do. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory, but some of them that might not be. A switch allows you to, or allows rather a player or the DM to tell another player to change the action word that they just used. So for example, if you've got a bard that's wanting to do the stereotypical seducing of a barmaid, then let's say the DM throws out a switch, then they have to change the word seduce to something that's not a direct synonym. So it's a fun little way to nudge the story in different directions. Also, we've changed up a couple things from the last season, so we don't have the borrowed success anymore. Now we have advantage and reroll. So an advantage, the cast member has to call that before they roll. Then they roll twice and take the higher of the two results. But a reroll is you're able to do that at any point. So if you roll a skill or anything like that, and you're really not happy with the result, and you're going, man, I really wish I'd used an advantage on that. A reroll is something that you can use after the fact. A complication is a lot like the plot points, but you get a lot more leeway on what you can actually do. Pretty much anything at all that you want to add into the scene, as long as it's not completely game-breaking. You can type 1 to 3 sentences in. And again, the DM does have final say on what gets added in or not. They may edit it a little bit to make it fit their story. But again, we'll try to stick as close to that as possible. But it's a fun way to add different things into the game. And then finally, swap 2 players for 5 minutes. Means that players will swap roles for 5 minutes. So you could have 2 characters playing each other's characters, or one of the players being the DM for 5 minutes. It's usually pretty funny and pretty fun. It's always a pretty good laugh. And then finally, the 1-up. That is a way for you to save your favorite characters. So the 1-up basically, if that character would die or hit 0 hit points or something like that, they can use that to come back at 1 hit point, sort of a safety net to keep them from dying. They're still going to come back at 1 hit point. They're still going to be in danger, but it is a way to give them every extra chance to stay alive. And that's pretty much how viewer actions work. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm going to pass it off to Polished and the cast here in just a second. So enjoy, and I will see you all after the game.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. So, thanks for joining us this morning, evening, whatever time it might be where you are. So, I want to have these wonderful 4 people that are joining me today for Monster of the Week introduce themselves to you so you have a better understanding of who's in this game. So, Pa, how about we start with you? How about you tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and where people can find you?
Hey, as you can see, I'm Par. I'm a lover of TTRPGs, and I am here to have a good time with Monster of the Week once again. For what I do, I'm kind of just roaming around the internet now, searching for odd jobs. Please employ me. And you can find me on Twitter at LTALIG, which hopefully you got that because I can only say it once.
Awesome. Kat, how about you go next?
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm a person. I'm really new to this the Black Feather Guild, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm not doing anything at the moment. It's kind of other than quarantining. I'm from like the Boston area, and we're not really. It's not good here. And you can find me at Cat N Schrodinger or cat underscore named underscore Schrodinger on most platforms.
Fantastic. I think we have Eshi next.
Hi, I'm Eshi. I'm a gamer in general, GM, crafter, nerd. You can find me pretty much only on Twitter, and I don't do anything on Twitter. So if you're looking for me, I'm Riddle of Indras, but you're not gonna see much.
All right, fantastic. And our last player, how about you tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm McCulax. You can find me mostly here playing TTRPGs because TTRPGs is mostly what I do. And you can find me for now only almost here on Blackfire Guild and on Twitter as Ekinorlax. And that's all.
All right. And yeah, my name is Polished Cryptid. I do heaps of role-playing stuff, not just on here, but also on my own channel. And you can find me both on Twitch and Twitter as Polished Cryptid. So today's game starts from the perspective of a single owl flying over a cornfield. It looks down on the waves of corn, and on a hill just slightly further away from this farm, it spots 2 teenagers who seem to be having a bit of a discussion. They're looking up at the sky, almost hopeful, but not being able to find whatever it is they're looking for this night. They start to head down towards the field. And as they approach and the owl changes perspective, flies around them, swoops back, you see several large formations inside this field where the corn has been pressed down and crop circles have taken shape. From a distance, we see lights flash deep within these circles. The corn rustles, and then everything is still. That's when the theme song for Where Things Go South kicks in. And one by one, with badass music playing in the background, we encounter each of our player characters. Starting with Ven, what is your character's role in this intro sequence?
There's a close up or a wide shot of a gas station in the middle of nowhere with light flashing periodically from inside. We zoom in, and standing there wearing a welding mask and a leather apron is a tall, rail thin beast of a creature, just swinging a mighty, mighty mallet at an anvil, and blue sparks are pouring off into the rest of the garage. After a moment, they end up a strangely glowing blank for a sword and lift the welding mask, and there's just a scarred face and bright green eyes, and a smile creeps across the mouth.
Fantastic. Glenn, you're up next. What's your intro sequence?
My intro sequence starts in a very dark room. There is no light, no windows. So, but even if there was some light on, you would see only the door to the room from the inside. There's nobody in the room, and suddenly the door bursts in, opened with a kick, and you see a grim-looking fellow in surplus clothes looking at you with those haunting eyes that have seen a lot. But it's not eyes that you focus on. It's two round holes, seeming lot. Two holes on the end of the shotgun's barrel in this person's hands, and entire world turns to the blast of light when both of the barrels go off. When you regain your eyesight, you will be at the next character.
Excellent. Winter, how about you tell us what your intro sequence looks like?
So there's a person walking down the street and kind of a pulled up around their face, and they've got wild eyes, just looking around everywhere, trying to look for any kind of danger that might be around the corner or other people, and just hurrying and trying to get to somewhere or away from somewhere. We're not sure. And they turn around and look up, and there's that stupid owl again. And they duck around a corner.
All right. The intro music is starting to pick up as we are approaching the actual credits. But before that, Ryan, what is your intro sequence?
So, young man in in a magician's outfit is sorry, is carefully circling a little cane around the edge of a hat in a circular motion. He's chanting, and it gets more intense and more intense, and he makes a big flourish as he raises it up, and a puff of smoke comes out, and he looks disappointed as he holds the hat, and he looks inside, and there's nothing there. So he does it again. He makes another big flourish, and then he looks really worried. He drops the hat and starts running, and it just explodes as he dives for cover.
Nice. And it is from this smoke, as soon as the explosion fully takes form, that we see the words emerging where things go south. So, today's game picks up at the aforementioned gas station in the middle of nowhere. And a beat up old car, probably somewhere, from 1993, I think, is roughly when this was made. Pulls up, and out jumps a very excited, almost skittish looking man that that Van would know by the name Reynolds. Reynolds is a regular in these parts. Whenever he's covering the Northeast, he's a known conspiracy theorist, and he loves to call himself a UFO expert. What knowledge he actually has that makes him an expert is a bit left open to interpretation, but he's very proud of it. Then he approaches you with a massive smile on his face. He goes, "I've got something. I'm certain this time it's for real." This is the exact sort of thing that you'll like. And well, look, I'll tell you what. I want first pitch. This is my scoop. I'll tell you, it's a 4-hour drive, and I might need some backup. And he looks you dead in the eyes then. So, you reckon you might be keen?
You're mute.
Can't hear your reply.
My bad.
Oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if the connection had dropped. There we are. Well,
Ben thinks about it for a moment. Give me a moment to collect some party favors. And wanders around the shop collecting various sharp-pointed objects, stuffing them into a small duffel bag.
so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to head out 2 hours before you do, because again, I want the chance at this. I can tell you, 4 hours west. I'll text you the exact location when I get there. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. Are you bringing anyone else, or is it just you?
Well, how much backup do you need?
I don't know.
How much backup do you need?
It's hard to tell with these things. See, I've heard a rumor that there's 2 teens gone missing. Crop circles, mate. I bet it's aliens.
I'll see what I can muster. On your
All right.
certainty of aliens.
It's always aliens. Like, when has it ever not been aliens? They're everywhere.
There was that one time it was skinwalkers.
Pretty sure that's just another word for aliens. Just been here a while. Well, I'll head on out. Just gonna obviously grab some gas. That's why I'm here. We'll get the text in 2 hours. Sounds good?
Sounds good. I'll see what I can put together by then.
All right. So not only will I owe you a favor, by the way, you get second pickings of anything we find. Sounds fair?
Deal.
Couldn't quite catch you there, mate.
That's a deal. We'll see what you
Excellent.
collect.
And he grins to himself just from ear to ear as he gets back into his car and then pauses for a moment and gets back out, remembering that he's actually there to get petrol and not just get everything set up. So while he scurries around for a few minutes longer before heading off, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna call Glenn. Glenn likes to
All right.
mash things. Seems like a very mashy situation.
So how do you normally contact Glenn?
Probably through kind of a hunter phone chain. I don't imagine it's
sort of,
particularly easy.
almost like beacons being lit to warn people in the distance, or
Yeah.
as opposed to a direct call?
I call Sarah, Sarah calls Todd, Todd calls Glenn, Glenn comes to me.
Excellent. So, Glenn, eventually you do hear the summoning call. As your phone rings, what are you up to? What does a normal day look like for you?
I probably have some part-time job, like the most usual job a man can find in this sides of states. Maybe a shop clerk. So that depends what time, if I'm in the work right now or not. But let's say I'm not, for the
All right.
convenience of things, and I don't answer the phone. I drop the connection after uh, the correct number of beeps. That means I've got it. I'll be there.
Awesome.
Where I should be.
How often would you say you've gotten this call before? Is it routine? Is it every once in a while, or is this an odd treat? How often do you work with them?
I think the entire group, the van is the one I'm working with most often because of, well, I'm not exactly on the board with entire magic thing and with the weirder things. Supplier in old school, no magic, just physics, weapons. So out of entire party, it's the person I'm working with most often.
Awesome. So then you're pretty sure that Glenn has probably gotten the message. You know, it takes him a while occasionally. This sort of chain of delivery takes a while to put into motion. While you wait for Glenn.
Between sharpening various implements, probably pass another couple of calls off to that one hobo magician I saw that one time who was a little more magic-y than normal.
Excellent. So how do you get in contact with Ryan? Is it the same sort of signal of messages? Do you have his direct number? Is it I'll send a carrier pigeon? How do you guys communicate? I've had people go for carrier, so valid question.
I actually really like the idea of a message rat.
Love it.
I just tie a little message to its tail, say, Ryan, and it skitters off into the night.
Perfect. Ryan, eventually, a rat makes an appearance. Okay. Okay. Are we back up? Okay. I can see us. Almost, at least. All right, folks. So, last thing I saw from chat is that a name has been chosen for this rat, and it is Antonio the Majestic. I'm pretty sure it's exactly what it was. So, Ryan, you've met Antonio before. He's a sort of old faithful of the messenger rats, and he is very happy to see you. Very happy that he's, delivered a message. He's done a good job today.
I give it a little piece of cheese.
Oh, it's the best day ever for Antonio.
If I must, I shall use this rat. Glenn, have a commission now, but I shall get back to you soon. All right, off you go. Away with you.
And Antonio scurries off again, keen to have another delivery. So then I think you might know what my next question is going to be. What are you doing while you're waiting for Antonio to get back?
There's an owl, a familiar, stupid owl, sitting outside, and I share a knowing glance with it. Nod, and it flies away.
Winter, when this owl finds you, what are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm probably sitting on my back porch smoking a cigarette. And I'm looking, I see it, and I check my pack, and I notice I don't have that many. So I guess I should go to the gas station and get another pack of cigarettes because, well, somebody wants something from me.
You get the distinct feeling that that owl wants you to head to the gas station. It's very intent, and it's going to stare at you until you move.
I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my sweet ass time getting to this gas station. I'm just stare at the owl.
It stares back. You're not going to win a staring contest against an owl, but you can sure try.
I obviously lose the staring contest. I don't know if my house is within walking distance or if I can. If it's in walking distance, I just walk.
It's up to you.
If it's not in walking distance, I still walk. And eventually, I'm gonna get to this gas station and ask for a pack of cigarettes.
All right, then. Someone has indeed gotten to your gas station already. I have a feeling for the time of convenience that these three individuals arrive roughly at the same time. So your summoning call has indeed been heard. Wow. Nice sound effect. So yeah, the four of you are reconvening at this gas station in the middle of nowhere. What are you up to?
Hmm. I think Ryan shows up in kind of a shambled state as usual, carrying some strange form of hat that looks very tattered that he's trying to fix with his magic, but it's just not taking.
Fantastic. And as you head into this gas station, you notice that. So on the sort of left-hand side, we have the mechanics section, and then to the right is a sort of almost like a small convenience store where you can pick up a few supplies from the for the road, and pay for your gas. This place never seems to be staffed in the traditional way. And you are pretty confident that some of those goods they're selling have not actually been in circulation for 20 years, maybe longer. But somehow there's always plenty available. And on that counter is Antonio the Majestic, who is looking very, very proud and very happy to see you.
Antonio got some peanut butter when he got back.
Just having a great time, Zerat.
I think we should scratch Antonio behind the ears.
Oh, he is very happy about that. This is a rat who loves being told what a good boy he is. In fact,
He is such a good boy.
His mannerisms are very similar to those of a very, very small and very eager dog. He just doesn't quite look the part.
Then I'm sure there's a reason you've called us all here, so what is it?
All right, who knows Reynolds?
It's not aliens. It's never aliens.
That's what I keep telling him, but
It's never aliens.
Who?
he seems convinced. There's a UFO expert who comes around every once in a while, and they provide jobs. It's usually not alien. It's almost never aliens, in fact.
It has never been aliens. At least not when you hear from Reynolds.
He's convinced, and he said there's 2 teenagers gone missing a ways out. Wants to meet us in a couple hours.
Oh, teenagers missing. Paint me shocked.
Well,
He says there's a find in it. He's really convinced.
Well, I've been practicing magic a long time, and I think if aliens existed, probably would have found them by now. So my guess is these 2 teens probably went off together for, to do what teens do these days.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but I can't ignore missing people. I can't.
And it's like It's not like he's never on to something. It's just never aliens. He just doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't connect.
Yeah, that part I agree with.
Hmm. True. I guess it is worth investigating. Who knows?
Oh, wait. There's missing how long? Is there some sort of reward for information?
He didn't say anything about a reward, but he did say there would be potential resources at the end
Oh
of this.
yeah. Ships, alien ships to take into parts, right?
If it ever pays out, it'll be worth it.
Might be aliens.
Ooh. I think we're back.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
Sweet.
It's aliens, guys, clearly.
They know we're onto them.
What is that?
Exactly.
What is that
Signal-
light?
Signal is missing. At least that's right, as he told. Something is missing.
So, how do the four of you prepare for a job like this?
Hmm.
Because then you reckon you still might have another at least 30 minutes until you'll get that text saying, something more specific than it's west of nowhere.
Hmm.
So, are we taking my van? Or do we travel separately?
Taking the
Hmm.
van would probably be easiest.
Well, if we will be all together, we should probably stay together.
Makes sense.
Is
I
there...
take a look at Van's shop. So, what do you have in for the aliens in case if they are in fact aliens?
Can I tap my armory here?
I'm pretty sure you can. Let me see. Is it your...
It's a weird roll.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong... Okay. Cool. All right. So for those of you playing along at home, you've probably noticed we are having some connection issues. It's the aliens, clearly. So what we're going to do, because it does keep dropping in and out, is that we're going to keep going and hope that it's only minor details that are missed. And if there's ever confusion, please feel free to ask questions in chat and we'll clarify if need be, because we can't always tell which parts have been audible and visible to you guys. So then you're looking for some kind of dowsing equipment?
Yeah.
What do you have in mind? It's your workshop.
Probably some relatively simple stuff, like a special crystal on a nice chain
Nice. Yeah.
and a map of the local area.
Okay, so I'll let you have the crystal. The thing is, you don't quite know where you're going yet, so it's not going to be a very detailed map.
Yeah.
You can grab a sort of general local / slightly west of here. You know, it's about a 4-hour drive. But yeah, it's going to be a suggestion, simply because you don't know the location yet.
I see what Vance picked up, and I ask, "That's what you want to fight aliens with?"
We don't know we're fighting aliens yet. This will help us find teenagers and maybe other things.
Yeah, you're right. We should take care of the more reasonable part of this Reynolds find.
I point to the giant shotgun sitting behind the counter, and I'm like, that usually takes care of things like aliens.
Oh, that I have already in my van.
There's a bit of a consequence. It's not an explosion this time, but it's a ton of smoke. To the point where you can't see anything in front of you. You can't see your feet. And you reckon it's probably not a great idea to be in here right now. And anyone else who's in the room with Ryan, you might need to step outside and take a breather, because this is decidedly magical smoke and you're not quite sure what it will do to you if you stick around.
Why does this always happen to me?
And dives headlong through the door. Panic writ on their face.
Right.
Man,
I am sorry, my friend. I really am. But you know, even an arcane master such as myself has an off day or an off, ritual.
It's from the very, like, just outside the door to this place, you hear a very upset series of squeaks. Someone is unimpressed.
You don't judge me, Antonio. All right. Uh, I have abandoned my dagger. Well, ritual knife.
So you think once the smoke clears, you'll be able to get back in? It's more that when it's that concentrated and you know it's magical in nature, you know better than to inhale that stuff. It's had some weird consequences in the past. There was that one time when it turned your hair green for a week, and that's the mildest side effect you've had from magical smoke. So yeah, you should be able to go back in and return your dagger eventually. Anything else that before you want to do?
folks, I have an idea. Reynolds says it's west, right? He will text you with location. If we can go back, so let's head west.
Start.
Mm-hmm. Might as
There
well
is
be on the way.
only one highway west. For the first hour, anyway.
Exactly.
Hit the
All
road.
right. Just checking, Winter. Is there anything else you want to do before you lot head out?
I think as I walk out of the gas station, I'm gonna throw a rock at the owl. I know I'm not gonna get anywhere close to hitting it, but I want it to know I just don't like it.
The owl is judging you horribly
I'm
as
judging
the rock
owl.
just flies past its head.
Yeah,
I'm
can't
just
even hit an owl.
flinching.
just have that like mutual disdain for each other. Or I don't know if the owl hates me or not, but I don't like that owl.
All right. So, Ryan, I'm assuming you do retrieve your dagger before you all head out.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Luckily, that spell was just a precaution to give myself a little bit of up close and personal stuff, but, you know.
It's just a warm-up, guys. We'll be fine.
I am still me without it, so I am ready.
Awesome. So, I get the feeling that this road trip might not be the kind that ends up in a Hollywood movie. But as you do head out, do you all make small talk? Does anyone listen to the radio? Is it a quiet, professional silence and dead-on focus? Friendly banter? What level are we working at?
I'm just staring out the window.
Well, there's no radio to start with.
Even better.
Then we'll probably make a vague attempt at banter, mostly poking at Ryan for flooding the gas station. You know, I can make that thing that you were trying to do permanent and not almost turn my rat into a dog.
Well, first of all, I am a master of magic.
Clearly.
Second of all, I don't need it permanent. How much do I really get up close and personal? I am at the back because a true master does not endanger themselves up close. The whims of
Unless
magic
they're trying
are
to
thus.
enchant their weapons.
Listen.
Just saying. Professional blacksmith. Master of the arcane.
We're both professionals. You have your thing, I have my thing. But you know, my thing's just a little bit here, and your thing's just a little bit here. But we are both, of course, professional.
Of course.
At some point during the trip, roughly about 10 minutes after it was meant to arrive, you do get a text. Now, I'll leave it up to you if you have a traditional phone, if we're talking a pager, if we're talking some sort of other magical messaging variety. But it does give you the address, and below that it just says, I was right.
He's never right. It's not aliens.
You're right about what?
Do you just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just say that.
I bet he's just looking down at his phone and he's like, he's not right.
Do you have the coordinates? Is it west, at least?
It's west. Reynolds knows general directions. It's you reckon you've got another 3 hours of driving before you'll end up there.
I'm seeing these directions as being incredibly slap and dash.
Oh,
right at that one
absolutely.
tree.
Yep.
Left at that one split.
Yeah, it is a bit vague. However, you also recognize that if there is indeed something like a crop circle, it will probably be easier to find once you're close to it. So you reckon you can do a decent job at it. Let me see. Which one of you knows the area out here the best, would you say?
Definitely not me.
I think I probably only leave the shop when I'm required to.
I'm the one for weird odds and ends, so I'm maybe I had a odd job here somewhere around in recent past.
I would say winter is always moving. So even if they're centered in that one area, they probably know all the weird back areas.
Okay. So I'd say Winter is probably the one who's most likely to have passed through here because it is a small town that you're heading to, barely more than a village, and there hasn't been any strange activity out there for a very long time. So Glenn, you might have passed through on your way to another job, but I think I'm going to ask Winter. Do you want to read a bad situation as you're approaching this village?
Sure.
So, roll me your sharp, unless you have something that allows you to use a different stat.
I don't think I do. How do we do this?
So on your character sheet, there's a dice right next to your sharp. So you just need to click that.
Oh, okay.
It's very straightforward. Almost too straightforward. It confuses people a lot.
I lost my character sheet. This is what we do when we're new. All right.
Nice.
Roll sharp.
Yep.
Is it there?
Yes.
Great.
Also, I'll keep. Someone has some type of phone or something ringing in the
that's
background or
me.
app. Okay. Cool. So when you're reading a bad situation, with a 7, you do get to ask me one of the questions. You can find it under Keeper as, or not Keeper Handout, Hunter Handout 1. There's a list of questions you can ask when you're approaching a situation like this.
All right.
So yeah, you get to
Are
ask
there
one of
any
those.
dangers we haven't noticed?
You think that the town itself is not a problem. As weird as it sounds, Reynolds is probably onto something that this originates from those crop circles. Whatever it is, it may or may not be aliens. You never know. But even to your more paranoid instincts, you know that the source of danger there is purely from what's inside those crop circles. And you reckon that you're not really sure they are crop circles, even though now as you approach this village, you can sort of see in the distance, driving over a hill, there's some really strange patterns in one of those fields ahead of you. It gives you a very uneasy feeling.
Can I So what can I do now? Do I get to act on the answers? Okay. I'm kind of just gonna tell the group that I'm pretty sure what's going on here is going on in the fields. And I think it's definitely related to whoever is making these crop circles. Am I muted?
No,
No.
I
Okay.
have you. Another thing that all of you do notice as you're approaching this small, it's right on the border between a town and a village. It's that awkward size of, we're not actually big enough to have any proper resources here, but it still feels a little bit like a community. And you're noticing that there are more and more people walking about than you would normally expect. And they're not just walking like alongside a road, they're also walking through the fields. But yeah, it's not necessarily a threatening feeling to winter more so than most things are. Because
Is
most
it
things
just
are
because
threatening
there's
to
a lot
you.
of people?
It's just a lot of people about. And they appear to be walking, again, not necessarily where you would expect them to.
Winter's not a big fan of crowds, so it could just be that there's people.
Could be.
I'm gonna say I'm not sure that it's not just social anxiety, guys, but I'm pretty sure people shouldn't be walking around. There's too many people to be in this area. There's 6 houses and 30 people. No, that makes sense. 300 people. That's way too many. There's too many people. I could absolutely be exaggerating because I do that.
Yeah, there's probably not 300 people within eyesight, but
But we see something is off, right?
yeah, it seems like whether there's an event or something, but it seems the entire village and perhaps even a nearby town, that everyone's out and about right now.
Strange, very strange.
Did Reynolds called everybody in the state about this thing?
Oh, wait. That makes sense, though. If they're looking for these teenagers, it would make sense that everybody's out and about, wouldn't it? It's not aliens.
Would I?
When there's aliens involved, people don't look for others.
What? Would I also be able to read a bad situation?
Sure. It's less of a. See, I love this system, but occasionally I was like, hey, I wish we had a perception check somewhere in here. But you can choose to you either investigate a mystery or read a bad situation, because you're not necessarily in trouble now that you know a bit more what's going on.
I mean, I gotta choose read a bad situation because
Right.
so give me just a moment. I shall expand my consciousness and I will open my third eye to read this bad situation.
Okay. Go for it.
So, when you read a bad situation, you can open your third eye for a moment to take in extra information. So I'm gonna roll for that. I'm rolling plus sharp.
Yep.
Sharp's not good, guys. I don't get anything to it. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. You don't really get anything in addition to what Winter has already pointed out. You do get to ask one question, but if you do, you have a feeling you might expose yourself to some type of danger. Something might be able to sense you.
Oh, okay.
So you know that if you push it, there's a bit of a risk to trying to find this information.
Oof, that doesn't feel pleasant at all. Sorry. Seems my third eye is whatever's around here. Not exactly, not exactly working out for me. Suppose we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I'm slowing down. We are driving, I would say cruising through this town. I try to spot something that makes sense in this situation. I investigate a mystery.
All right, so um, I'll give you a bit more information about what's going on in the town now as you're approaching. It does seem like a normal town. It's not a case where you're like, no, these are all aliens. It does seem to be regular people heading about their day. You've been to plenty of these smaller towns in your life, and there's the classic. It's a farming community more so than anything else. Um, I am trying to translate my Australian vocabulary. But oh yeah, you see, heaps of pickup trucks. The classic sort of people are in workwear more so than anything, but they are decidedly bussing about, and things have disrupted the normal order of business. And even without investigating a mystery, as soon as you approach more of the town center, you do spot someone in a police uniform. Well, it's two of them, in fact, and they're talking to, again, you've all been around the block a bit. You're not new to this. You reckon there's also a plainclothes police officer standing with them. Should also mention, since we've had 2 failed rolls, Ryan, you get to mark 2 points of experience. So anyone who fails to roll completely, so you roll a 6 or below, make sure you mark experience, because in this game, you learn from your failures. Don't think it's happened to anyone else yet. So
I'm doing well. Might level up before the end.
Would I have a police scanner in my van instead of radio?
Let me check if that might be a thing you've got. There's Glenn's sheet. I'd say probably not. You reckon that if you pull a few favors from them in the future, you might be able to get one. But it's not something that your van automatically has in it. So if you take the time to obtain one, you might even know how to, a few contacts out here that might be able to have them if you want to procure them. But I don't think you have one on you.
Okay, not yet. Okay. Then I wish I had some more cash on me. I should have bought a police scanner months ago for things like this. I'm just muttering to everybody and nobody in particular.
And can I use preparedness to see if I have a police radio on me?
Let me see. Okay, so it's about your haven. Oh yeah, you do have a skill for this. So how about you roll me your sharp? Because you do have a skill that is literally something you roll when you need something unusual or rare. Let's see how you go. A 9. All right, let's see.
Will
Yes,
this
you do have a police radio. You just didn't bring it. It's in the workshop. You probably even thought about bringing it, but it's sitting right on the counter. So you have one in your possession. It would be a bit of a detour to go and
If
get
I'd
it.
been thinking about it, I could have brought mine.
So can I try my tune in move?
I'm pretty sure you
tune my
can.
mind to the monster or minion, roll weird, and then I can kind of.
Let me see, where's your tune in? I think the thing is, you're not even sure if there's a monster here. So I think once you know a bit more, once you're a bit closer to whatever this might be, if it is a monster, you'll be able to use it then. But at the moment,
Can I fudge it a little bit and try and use it to attune to a teenager or a missing teenager?
I think you'd need a description of them at minimum to see
Okay.
if to sort of know who to tune into. That's the main thing, is that you casted a net a little bit too wide, but once you have a bit more information, you might be able to target it better. And again, because of how Monster of the Week works, I can't raise the DC. So that's why, you need a bit more information about them first.
So, then, do you have any particular meeting spot with Reynolds?
Other than what's in the text, no. I imagine he's wandering the fields looking for aliens.
Probably.
Well, maybe we should search for the circles. Well, search for the circles, not the aliens.
All right, and we just got a message from Raven that we have hit 10 tweet interactions. So there is a D4 in everyone's pools to use. So if you do come up against that one skill roll that you definitely need to succeed on, remember that you have an extra D4 at your disposal. Which in a game like this is super powerful. We would have needed like a D2 or something, but yeah, you definitely have some backup power at your hands. You can tell that this van that you're in is starting to draw a bit of attention, because this is not a car normally seen around here, and a van, unless it's marked by a specific business, is not normally what you'd see around here. So
yeah, time to speed up to normal speed and move outside of the borders of the town. Okay, well, I'm talking to the team. I'm telling the team, I think we've taken enough look, and we've been seen enough. Let's move to the fields.
Shouldn't we get out and like talk to someone at some point?
We, I'm thinking we definitely park and do a little bit of footwork, put the legwork in. I'm not opposed to that.
And by shouldn't we go and talk to someone? I mean, like, shouldn't you guys go and talk to somebody? I don't do the whole talking to people thing.
That's why I was laughing. I'm like, Winter, who's the least social out of all of you, is like, hey, should we try talking to people?
Look,
when I see police, I'm stepping on the gas, not on the parking break gear.
Well, let's find somewhere public to park so we can get out. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we don't need the van towed. It's a long walk.
I'm searching for some fast food.
Yeah, you can quite easily
Establishment.
find somewhere to park. There's not necessarily a fast food establishment, but there is, a local small grocery store. There might even be, you know what? I'll meet you halfway. There's a local diner as well
Okay.
that is good for people passing through. So yeah, you can quite easily park your van there without raising too much of a suspicion. So yeah, this town is, again, it's a small one. It seems the entire town is out on the streets. In addition to a small diner, there's a post office, a bit of a, those really small grocery stores where it's like, I don't quite know if this is a convenience store, if it's a grocery store, but they also sell like minor hardware things. It's sort of very, very catered to a farming community. So bits of odds and ends in addition to your standard supplies.
It's a general store.
Yeah, more like a general store, I think, is the better one. Ooh, so Raven has given me a new tool to play with in that. So part of Monster of the Week is that your keeper, yours truly, doesn't actually roll dice at all. But in this case, with that D4, I can roll and mess with your result. So just so you know, if I really don't want you to succeed at something, or I think the consequences of failure could be hilarious.
Evil.
Well.
Pure evil.
All right, so yeah, anything you all want to do in this town? Anyone you're looking to talk to?
As soon as we pull to a complete stop, Ven's going to go directly to the diner and order coffee.
Oh,
That can be done without a doubt. Coffee is always available in my universe.
And pie.
Is it available to go? Because Winter wants coffee, but Winter does not want to hang out in the diner.
They look at you a bit confused.
We're here for the homecoming parade. Well, why else would anybody else be in, or why else wouldn't the whole town be in the streets? There's obviously a homecoming parade.
Are you walking up to the counter and talking to them, or is this a sort of okay?
Yes.
Can you please roll to manipulate someone?
Absolutely. That's plus charm.
It should be, unless you have another special ability.
Oh, that's a failure.
oh.
Oops.
Experience.
Yeah, you do definitely get experience from that.
We're a party of people stepping.
So,
The title is talking about us. We are where plate.
okay. She looks a bit unsettled, but she turns to the remaining two members of your group and says, "And can I get you anything?"
maybe some information. If there's not a parade going around, why is everyone around wandering the fields?
They're looking for like two people have gone missing. We're trying to find them. So we're sending out search parties today. I'm joining after I finish my shift.
Missing people, like what happened?
They
Just
didn't come home.
what kind of people?
I mean, there's
Wandering around, it might as well be your mayor.
I'm sorry?
The way people are wandering around, it might as well be your mayor.
This is a small town. We all know each other. It's it's not like it's strangers going missing. These are people from my school. You know, we all know each other. I mean, their parents are just nearby. I shouldn't. No, please, no. But it's look, their names are Hannah Daniels and Eric Cross.
And they went to your school? That's horrible.
Yeah, we're hoping it's. I don't know that they just got lost in the fields or something. I don't know. It's. Just hope they're okay.
Where'd they go missing? What do they look like? Maybe we can help.
Oh, you might want to talk to the sheriff. She's you might have seen her. She was talking to well, they're trying to coordinate search efforts, but it's a small place, so we only got 2 police officers from the nearby town. She's probably talking to them. It's not. We don't have our own department. It's just a sheriff around here normally. Yeah, they're probably the best people to talk to. I know they're putting together flyers, but it's also we all know each other, so it's not like we'd struggle to recognize them. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend doing. And she sort of catches herself and goes, "I'm so sorry, I forgot to bring you your coffee." And she puts it down in front of you. And as you have the chance for a coffee break, so do we. And that's where we'll cut for a 10-minute break. So make sure you stretch your legs, everyone. Make sure you grab some water or some coffee if it's 6:30 in the morning for you. Hi, and yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Thanks everyone for hanging out during the break. The coffee has been refilled, and we are diving back into this mystery where our hunters are searching for. They're almost searching for some missing teenagers. Could be aliens, but they're in this small town 4 hours west of their home, and they are following a tip that talks about crop circles and aliens and missing kids, and we're not really sure what's going on here. So, your coffee has arrived. What do you do?
I thank her.
Oh,
Looks
yeah,
delicious.
you're welcome.
And proceed to pour it directly down my throat with no fanfare. Stand up, pay, and leave.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Mm.
Oh man.
Let's say I was
Oh man.
hanging by the half sitting on the front bumper of my van, watching Van talking with the girl. What did the girl tell you?
Nothing
Something.
particularly useful. They're looking for Hannah and Eric.
So at least Reynolds got this part right. I
She
think
pointed us to the cops.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can volunteer for search party. There's never enough people in cases like this, so they won't even give us a second look.
I'm gonna go text Reynolds and see where he is.
I like the plan with joining the search party. Should be easy enough.
All right. Do you flick Reynolds a text?
Yeah, just a quick. Where are you at? Why are you so sure?
All you get back is 2 words. Going in.
There is an audible facepalm heard throughout town.
It echoes.
Well, that means nothing good. Did he respond to you?
He's going in by himself.
Oh,
And
I
he's
see.
still sure it's aliens, of course.
So, you must tell me, does your friend just have the death wish, or is that something new? Something happened recently?
It's just kind of a consequence to a complete lack of foresight.
So
I
he
see.
wanted you to take some backup, and now he's going in alone. Makes no sense to me.
Reynolds is a leap then look sort. It's not the first time.
Well, I guess. Well, he didn't. Did he tell you the location? Anything?
No, he's as useful as he ever is. I vote
Perfect.
we get the flyers from the sheriff over there, volunteer to help, and then maybe do a little dowsing and see if we can't get an idea.
Sure. Why not?
Can I use my hunch move? Hunches when something bad is happening or just about to happen somewhere that you aren't. You roll plus sharp.
You can. Something seems up with your sound, by the way, Kat, because it sounded quite faint. But yes, you should be able to use hunches. So please roll me your plus sharp.
All right. So I'm going to roll plus sharp.
Sorry, roll me your sharp.
Yeah. And I'm going to mark an experience point.
Yeah. So you do get a hunch. You've had a lot of talk about these crop circles. And Reynolds said he was going in. That's probably where he went.
Yeah,
I mean, it's where the aliens would be.
right. It says on a miss, I get there just in time to be in trouble myself.
Could be.
Okay.
So I guess I'm going towards the crop circles.
Hey, Winter,
Yeah.
are you actually heading towards the crop circles?
I don't know. I'm just following a hunch.
Wait, we didn't take flyers yet.
Why do we need flyers?
Glenn, you go with the kid, and
Okay.
Brian and I will see to the official side of this.
You just call me Brian.
My voice is doing weird things. Sorry.
Yes. Suppose I shall work with you.
Okay, I'm catching up with Winter.
All right. So let's start. Actually, no, let's start with Winter and Glenn. So you did see these crop circles sort of in the distance on your way in. So you reckon you can walk there. A drive would be faster, but it's sort of on the outskirts of this village. Seems to belong to one of the farms. Doesn't appear to be a particularly massive one. But there's decidedly a sizable cornfield on there. And whenever, great time to need to sneeze. Damn it. It's the most disruptive thing to the thought process ever. But yeah, whenever you are in an elevated position as you're walking there, you do see those indents in the cornfield. It's getting a bit later now. The sun is setting. You'll still be able to get there before dark, but it is late afternoon at this stage. And Winter, that bloody owl has
Damn it.
reappeared on a traffic light.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm probably like maybe standing in the middle of the street, like, because you do that in small towns. And I'm just gonna shout at it. Are you gonna help, or are you just gonna like stand there and stare at me?
The owl does that classic, when they look like they almost break their neck by tilting their head so hard?
Yeah.
Just tilts his head, looks at you. You reckon that if this thing could smile, it would be smirking at you. But now it just settles for blinking.
So you're not gonna help.
You both are this again.
It's the same owl over and over again, right? I'm turning to Glenn.
I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Can't be the same
turn to Glenn
owl.
and ask that.
They are not flying that fast. We were driving the highway for 4 hours.
Owls are pretty fast, and they can, go the way the crow flies, if you will.
But not that long. Van is not getting tired.
Then, well, I don't think the owl's getting tired either. There's something driving that owl that is just pure spite.
Okay, that I can understand.
All right. I'm gonna I'm gonna move on from this owl and keep going towards the crop circles.
The owl sort of tilts his head back up, and as you walk past it, it very slowly turns its head around to make sure that it doesn't take its eyes off of you until it's looking straight over its own shoulder.
All right, Mona Lisa.
All right, and as the two of you approach the crop circles outside of town,
Sometimes I'm continuing about the all of winter. Sometimes I think I could try shooting in, but in case it is the same all, I wouldn't really want to harm it.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
I just said that I sometimes I think when I see you with that you are going with that all, I could try shooting it, but I don't really want to, because if it is the same all, it would be gone, and I would have nothing to laugh at.
Thanks. Well, I feel like if you shot the owl, it'd come back anyway.
That would
But
be
it's not probably not worth it. I don't want to give it the satisfaction of my attention.
That I can understand too.
Okay. And this is where we pan back to Ryan and Ven, who are attempting this whole social, having conversations with people. And I want to see how this turns out. What are the two of you up to?
I am a wonderful conversationalist.
Right, who do you talk to?
Suppose we're tracking down this sheriff, who's I don't know where, but we're tracking her down.
All right, so Sheriff is pretty much where you left her when you drove past. She seems to have sent on the two police officers on their way and is now coordinating with some of the volunteers. You can tell there's a map spread out on the table, and it's sort of checking off areas they've been to. As you approach, you hear someone mention the word bloodhound, or should I bring my dogs? We're happy to help. In general, it seems a bit not frantic, but you can definitely tell that they're getting more stressed about it now than when you came into town. And should mention the sheriff. She's a woman in early 40s is your best estimate. She appears to be of Latin American descent. Her hair's starting to turn gray at the temples. Short hair, slightly heavier set, but definitely seems to have the attention and respect of everyone she's talking to.
I think we should wait a little bit, let her finish up her current round of instructions, and then approach and offer our assistance. What do you think?
Then nods very stoically and then proceeds to march directly up to the cop.
Why must he always do this? Ryan's gonna follow, just shaking his head.
All right. She looks up when she sees the two of you approach. Gentlemen?
You've got missing persons.
I've noticed. Are you here to
Yes.
Do you have any information?
No. We will help look.
we're here to help. We're here to offer our assistance.
She eyes the two of you up and down a little. Okay. Do you know the area? I can't recall having seen either of you before.
Well, my heart truly bleeds for the people you've lost. So, any way that we could assist, I offer our assistance. We may not know the area, but if we are part of a search party, then really there's no need for us to. We can just go along with them.
She nods, extends a hand to the both of you. Sheriff Hayden, nice to meet you.
What a lovely name.
Ben just looks at him.
Right.
He looks back in bed.
Well, the two of you, are you here alone?
We brought our own search party.
All
They're
two of
scouting
you?
right now.
Are you by any chance connected to that enthusiastic little man?
Another facepalm rings out through the town.
You know,
You one of yours?
Connected is a strong word, and I don't appreciate it.
yes, I have absolutely zero connection with that man.
But yes, we are aware of him.
Okay, so you both do and don't know him, and you are and aren't connected to him. And you do and don't have a search party. Right.
We've come to offer quantum assistance.
We really just want to help out. My heart bleeds for the youth that you have lost, and I truly hope to help you find them once more.
What he said. Two of that.
Can Pa, can you please roll to manipulate an NPC? So it's your charm, unless you have something that allows you to use a different stat.
Guys, my charm's bad. Whoops. So it's plus charm, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's an 8.
Actually worked
Is
out.
that the first roll you've succeeded at today?
Yes, it is.
Didn't even have to blow the D4.
Okay, so, we don't have much to offer in terms of resources. Look, worst case scenario, there's a murder and you're the murderer, but if so, I know where you are. Best case scenario, you're being honest. And I like to believe in the good of people. Well, your connection, not connection, whatever the hell he is to you, was searching towards the crop circles. I don't even know who decided those were a good idea. But yeah, that's where he wanted to go. Maybe if you head there, you'll find him. She produces a flyer and for a moment looks really uncertain as to which one of you to give it to, because she's not convinced that either of you is a perfect option. So she just sort of holds it out, waiting for someone to take it. There's a number on here. If you shout and no one hears you, that's the one you call. If you find them and you shout out, "Hey, got something," and no one comes running up to you, call that number.
So kind of you. So kind of you, Sheriff.
Can you point us to a map of the area, as detailed as possible, please?
She looks down to the map she's been standing near that they were congregating around before.
That'd be perfect.
Are you looking for anything special?
Just a map for reasons.
Well, I think we've got it. I really do think we've got it from here. I think we should just head over to the crop circles. Why not? Get the search on. I will also take that flyer. Thank you very much. Oh, so helpful, Sheriff. You are one of a kind, truly. We really must leave then. We really must.
We really must.
She doesn't say another word. As soon as she's pretty sure you're both out of earshot, you see her reaching for her phone. And if you stick around and linger for a little while, you'll hear her place a call to someone she refers to as officer.
Then let's just go. We've done enough.
Yeah, that's probably the safest bet at this point.
We
I love we need a map for reasons, but we're not going to tell you what they are.
Well, if we told her we were dowsing, she would look at us like we were freaks.
Oh, she's got that covered already. It's just keep in mind that Pa's character is essentially wearing a top hat. I'm pretty sure you mentioned using that before. So yeah, Ryan is dressed in sloppy old magician's dusty clothes, and you stand out a bit too, and you make a bit of an odd pairing based on your descriptions. Whoops, I think we dropped. Ooh.
Lost Par.
I don't think he liked that I insulted his top hat.
It was probably the aliens.
Yeah.
We're too
Raven,
close to solving.
I'm not sure if you can hear us, but we have messed up your overlays. I'm sorry. So, whoops. I think, there we go. Welcome back. I swear there are aliens actually getting involved now.
Musical chairs.
That wasn't just me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. Awesome. There's definitely aliens interfering. But yeah, so for Glenn and Winter, you arrived at what looks like a regular old farm, except for the fact that there is crop circles happening in a field. And that was a grammatically correct sentence and a half. There's one barn that seems to be quite a distance away, but definitely within reach. And then a small house that seems to be the family's residence.
I'm asking Quitter. So what was your hunch? Where is it leading to now?
Do I roll to investigate a mystery?
What are you trying to find out?
I think Like, are we at the crop circles, or are we kind of like, how close are we to the crop circles?
You can sort of see them. You reckon 200-300 meters?
And like, how would I investigate like which way my hunch is kind of drawing me?
Oh, you can feel it. It's going towards the center of those circles.
All right, so I want to go to the center of those circles,
That's where you want to
okay.
be.
and I'm gonna turn to Glenn and I'm gonna say that way.
Okay, straight into the middle. I sort of suspected it, but I wanted to ask first. I'm taking a look around if if I see anybody here already there, or just field.
The lights are on in the what appears to be the house itself. The barn has no lights on. You can't see anyone out in the fields at the moment.
Okay, I was asking about fields. Okay, let's go.
And when I get there, I'll probably investigate a mystery.
All right. So,
can I ask a question about mechanics?
yes.
Is it can an action be done only by one player, or can we do the same thing individually?
So you can choose to. The best thing to do is normally to try to help out. So if one person sort of takes the lead and you assist them, when you're helping out, you generally roll your plus cool again, unless you have something that shifts that particular move. And yeah, worst case, you don't manage to help them.
Okay, so that's what would we do? Mystery plus help.
So you determine firstly who's going to investigate and who's going to help out. So which one of you is taking the lead on this investigation?
Does it make sense for me to investigate the mystery? Since I'm following my hunch.
I would say so.
So that means that Glenn, you roll first, and I need you to roll me your plus cool to help out. Again, unless you have a move that changes the stat. So that's a 10. Nice work. That means that, Winter, when you see the result of your investigation roll, you get to add a +1 to it.
Sweet. So should I put the plus or minus forward into it? Or should...
I mean, it's a +1. I just added afterwards.
Okay. So it's a 7. Now it's an 8.
Yeah. So you get to ask me one of the questions under Investigate a Mystery.
I'm going to ask, what happened here?
You get the feeling that people quite easily get lost inside these crop circles. Now that you're closer, it looks a bit different now. Instead of this sort of massive open area you'd expect, this looks more like a maze or even a labyrinth. So you think it can be very easy to get in and very hard to get out.
I turn to Glenn and I say, I think we're going to have a hard time getting out of this.
What do you mean? It's a field.
Do you want to try and get out?
I mean, you mean like some sort of bad stuff happening? Or wait,
No, I think we're lost. I can't explain it, but I think we're lost.
Oh, okay.
You have a feeling.
Yeah. Okay, you can explain. You can't explain it. Thing. Okay, now I get you.
Yeah.
Winter, just to clarify,
Yep.
You're not lost yet. You reckon, however, that might change very quickly if you go into the crop circle itself. So it's one of those, if we go forward now, I'm not sure we could get back.
Oh.
So you still have a little bit, you have a margin of a
I
few.
feel like I would have.
You can still go ahead and tell Glenn this just to mess with him if you want.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
figured I'd
amend my
clarify.
statement and
Mhm.
say, "Oh, do I want to be a dick?"
It's up to you.
I say, "Hey, Glenn, go over there," and I point to the center of the crop circle.
Why? What for?
I'm gonna roll to manipulate someone.
Okay. Roll to manipulate a hunter.
All right. That's plus charm.
Yes, please. Unless you have something that lets you use another stat.
Ooh.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Glenn, it is up to you to decide how annoyed you are by this.
I'm not annoyed. I'm used to all three of them being weird sometimes.
Yeah. So if
I
you
wanted
check,
to have an answer if it's something that makes sense or not. For me, personally, so far
I'd
it
say-
didn't.
yeah, you can tell that Winter is trying to get you to walk into this circle for a reason. You're just not sure what their motivations are. If you decide to not do what Winter asked, you get to mark experience for resisting.
Since I didn't get any reason, I wouldn't go. So I guess I will take that road. Experience. Where is my chart?
I think I say, "All right, fine," and then I walk into it.
And because I'm here to cover him if something goes wrong, then I actually have to go now with him. Okay, we're going. Jeez.
All right. So, it wasn't that big of a time difference between like you didn't talk to the sheriff for that long. So, Ven and Ryan, you do see the two of them have a bit of a discussion outside these crop circles before Winter just goes straight in and Glenn sort of follows.
Quick question before we get too far away. Do
Yes.
I get an experience for rolling that 6?
Yes, because you failed your roll.
Okay.
But
Looking,
yeah, so the downside to this is that Glenn now knows that you tried to manipulate him. Like it didn't feel right about that suggestion. All right, so Ryan and Ven, what are the two of you doing?
looking down on the crop circles, can I use my dark past to see if there's anything relevant from my vast and strange experiences?
I'm sorry, Dark Past? Sorry,
I've got a
mildly
dark
distracted.
past.
All right. Wait, Dark Past, where is it? There we go. Yeah, you absolutely can. So roll me your weird, please.
Can I drop the D4 into that as well?
Yes. Awesome. Do you want to add the D4? Well, hang on, you do need to announce it first, don't you? Okay.
Oh.
So that's a 10. You get to ask me 2 questions from the list below. And obviously, you know what questions you have access to.
Yeah. Do I know anyone that might be behind this?
No one that you know. This it's nothing you've encountered, like no one you've encountered before. Reynolds is weird, but he usually doesn't, do things he doesn't fake things, he just gets really excited.
What black magic do I know that could help here?
Ooh.
It gets spoopy.
That's a good question. Let me have a look at what the magic might be able to do for you in this situation. Because magic in this world is both very vague and very specific at the same time. You reckon that there's a few options. If there's some way for you to talk to the crops themselves, they might be able to tell you something. You reckon that if you choose to observe another time, you might see something that has happened here before. But yeah, those are the sort of two main things you can think of until you know who or what it is you're looking for. Because then you might be able to trap, banish, all of those things. But until you've seen it, this is your best bet. And it's getting dark now. Like, it's decidedly more gray and black colors than it was just a few minutes ago.
Do we have time to get their attention before they wander off into the maze? Or no, that's done, isn't it?
I think they're pretty much walking in there as you're thinking about this. You reckon if you sprint, you might be able to catch up with them. You might be able to call out to get them to stop, but that's down to luck if they hear you. You can't be certain that they will.
Well, we don't for sure have a reason to believe that they're in any danger, so I think as we casually approach. So, you think we should maybe do a ritual to see what happened here?
A ritual.
You're the master of the arcane. You would know.
I truly am, my friend. I really, well and truly am. Let me think. No, really, let me think for a second. I would. Okay, well, we don't know if they passed through here or not, but I suppose let me try something.
Okay.
I will try to use magic, and the effect I'm going for is to observe another place or time.
Mm-hmm.
So can I observe, I guess, here back in time?
How long of a time span? Like, when are you trying to see, and for how long?
Do we know how long these kids have been gone? I missed that if that's the case. But I guess I'll try to throw it back a few hours.
And watch until now, or
I guess till now. Why not? See if there's any sketchy characters.
So I think that for this to work, given that you're covering quite a stretch in time, like a few hours is a long time to watch, I think that the two of you do need to do this together. So that means that Ven can help you. However, if they don't succeed, like if it's a 6 or below, you'll have to roll with a -1 to your magic.
And this isn't big magic, right?
It's not full-on big magic, but it is more than, a quick, let me see what happened here at 4 o'clock or at sunset yesterday. So that's why the spell requires a bit of an extra level of effort. Have we lost another person again?
So no +1 to that. Yeah. Kaino is gone.
So if you're choosing to go with this, I need Ven to roll to help out first so that
Okay.
we know the impact.
I will do my best.
8.
8.
Okay.
Cool. That's pretty solid. So on an 8, you do manage to give the +1. However, you're being quite loud while you're doing that.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're not an inherent magic user, so you chant a bit too enthusiastically. And you reckon that things nearby might have heard you, but you are helping.
Okay.
So with a +1, please roll to use your magic.
All right, and no additional +1 because of my things. All right, so just.
All right, so that's a 10 in total with the help.
Oh, that's a 9.
Have you added it already?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. So on a 9, you do manage to observe this place. However, there's going to be a bit of a side effect. So, okay, cool. Musical cameras, everyone.
Oh.
Turn your camera off, please. All right. So, you do manage to observe this place over the last few hours. You do distinctly notice that it would have added up to just after Ven got that text earlier that they told you about. I'm not sure if you've met Reynolds personally, but the small, enthusiastic man who seems to be on the lookout for aliens, you've met this type many a time. He's heading straight into this crop circle, and you can tell that there were some lights that seem to be coming from the center of it. And as you snap out of this spell, the lights are still there. And you are very drawn to them.
Well, I think I've found what we're looking for. This way.
So, are you heading in?
Yeah, I'm headed for those lights.
Excellent.
Also think I found Reynolds, wherever he may be. How quaint.
All right, then do you follow Ryan into the crop circle?
Quick check to make sure I have my knife and juju bag, and yeah, actively.
Sweet. So what happens is that as you walk in, both Winter and Glenn seem to be approaching from the other side of this circle, as if you decided to enter at the exact same time, but from different locations. So you each see the other pair, and those lights that you were dead certain you were walking towards, Ryan, they now seem to be almost as if it's somewhere in the corn itself, like in the cornfield, as opposed to in the flattened area. It's almost like it's behind a wall of corn. You're not sure how many of those walls there are.
This feels like a bad situation.
Does it? Are you trying to read it?
This, yes, it does.
All right. If you do want to read a bad situation, I'll have you roll your sharp. And before that, does anyone want to help out?
Are we together or
You can see each other probably 50 meters apart.
so I can help or only or does or
Yes, you can help.
okay.
You might need to approach Ryan first, but you can decide at least start having this conversation of trying to figure out what's going on. So Glenn, if you are indeed helping out, please roll me your cool.
Oof.
Nice. So, that
Money.
is pretty sweet. Okay, so Winter helped out. So normally only one person can help, but if the group decides that you get to take that +2, I'll allow it, but you have to sacrifice one of the D4s in the pool. Otherwise, you only get a +1.
So
+1. Let's stick to +1. My vote. Let's have a vote.
I mean,
I love that this is the most difficult decision we've faced yet.
I've already
Which of
used
these
mine, and I would
advantages do I
How many-
want?
just one D4?
One of
Or-
the D4s. So one has been used. There's
Okay.
3 remaining in your pool as players.
I'll sacrifice mine for a +2
All right.
to this.
So, could you please roll to? I got stuck on my own desk. Could you please roll to read a bad situation?
All right, that's plus sharp. So I'll put the 2
Yes.
forward on this roll.
Excellent.
Okay, come on. 9.
And you have the +2 already added?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on a 9, you do get to ask me one of those questions.
All right. Ooh, I wish I had one more, man. Damn. Wait. Oh, also, sorry, my third eye is open.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah. Wait, if my third eye's open, do I get 2?
Let me double check what that ability does for you, Ryan. Okay, so you do get to ask that question. You also get to see if there are any invisible things around you. So let's start with a question.
Okay. So, man, just one question. Oh boy, what's what's the biggest threat?
Mm. you're not alone in this labyrinth. You can feel something big and heavy walking around somewhere inside this maze. And you do also see invisible things. There's definitely magic here. And you can tell that it's almost as if these crop circles are redesigning themselves, and you can sort of see the outlines of where they used to be and where you think they'll emerge next. This thing is moving, and it's magic.
Well, this place is for certain some form of trap. I think perhaps perhaps I will be able to guide us through, but we are not alone here. There are many creatures about, I believe, and something extremely big. Prepare yourselves, is really all I can say. Uh, so I guess I'll try to navigate the group through. I don't know. Do I have to? I don't even know the roll for that.
Do I want to make a roll for it? Can you please roll me to act under pressure? So that is your cool.
My cool, eh?
Because something is in this labyrinth with you.
My cool ain't great. Oh.
That's a 9. That's pretty decent. You've rolled far worse today, so. Ooh.
Still rough.
Tell me exactly what you want to do. You want to navigate to find what?
As my third eye is open, I think I'm trying to navigate towards the center of this place and get towards whatever, whatever light, whatever source of darkness there is here.
Well, you do manage to find the center. At least you think it is, because those dancing lights, they're there. However, that's not the only thing you find. You can tell that in the middle of this maze almost that you've spent a good 2 hours at this point trying to just find your way through. That looks like Reynolds. And something's dragging him almost into... You can't quite see what it is, but they're dragging him towards what looks like an opening in the corn. Now, the thing that's dragging him, well over 6 foot tall, closer to 7. It's almost humanoid, but not quite, because you can see 2 gigantic horns on its head, an extremely unnaturally strong build that you wouldn't expect to see in a human. This is more like looking at the Hulk. And it has 2 legs, but that's not feet. Those are hooves.
I see. I think I will fully let you guys take it from here.
Oh, I love that. My job is done, guys.
Never met this guy. I have no connection, so I feel, my friends, that it's truly your turn.
To clarify, that guy is not invisible. That was a visible thing we've all seen.
It is decidedly visible. Kind of difficult to miss. Kat, you're muted, by the way.
Can I use my tune in now?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna roll plus weird.
Let me. That's the wrong character sheet. Need to see exactly what that move does.
You can attune
That's
your
an
mind to a
8.
monster or minion on a 10 plus roll. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. Spend 1 hold to ask the keeper one of the questions. All right.
Yeah.
I don't
Go
need
for
to know
it.
where the creature is right now.
Nope.
What is it planning to do right now?
That thing. It's hungry.
Huh? It's hungry.
Very.
Is it gonna ask?
It is
I mean, if I can
very
ask,
hungry, and it's dragging something.
is it gonna eat our UFO friend?
That's the impression you get.
I'm gonna say to the group, I'm pretty sure he's gonna eat that guy. That is it Reynolds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't even know if he's gonna use Reynolds wrap. Maybe he'll do like a boiled dinner type thing, or try to make a joke. It's bad. Yeah,
That's
Reynolds is
perfect
going.
winter.
Reynolds is gonna get eaten.
I mean,
So, Winter cares, but it's not alien.
I need to ask a group. Do you guys see these too?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, so it's not a hallucination.
oh no, it is fully real.
Okay.
It is fully real. You can. Yep.
One of the few
That-
times I would have rather been dosed.
I would have rather it be aliens, to be honest.
Now, here's
So-
my question.
Mm,
Are you all actually having this conversation out loud?
Well, I was just to make a move.
Okay. It's just that because there's words being spoken by all of you, there's a decent chance you might not get to surprise this creature.
Because I was just to make a move. I was
All right.
all I needed was the answer if they see it too.
What are you planning to do?
I don't need to think much about it because, well, there's a human being. What verb would describe that best? Endangered, let's say, by a
Yeah.
cryptid, and that's not situation I need to think about. I'm going to kick this ass, kick this guy's ass.
All right.
thing's
Roll me
ass.
your tough and tell me exactly how you're trying to do this.
Oh, fine.
How far is it from me?
Not that far, probably 50 meters.
50. Okay, so that's a pistol situation, not a soft shotgun.
So you're firing at it? If so, roll me your tough.
Yeah, I'm opening my character sheet. Sorry. Tough. Okay, rolling.
10. Nice work. So, you get to choose one of the effects under 10. So to modify what's happening in the situation. So I should explain to people watching, combat in Monster of the Week is very different from something like a more turn-based game. Here, the players take an action and the creature responds. So there's no turn-based order, just in case anyone wonders what on earth is going on.
I would say since I was mostly interested in our friend Reynolds. I mean, Van friends Reynolds. I would say I force the creature where I want. The creature drops Reynolds.
Okay. How much damage is your gun that you're using?
To harm.
To harm? You're dead certain you hit. However, the creature just sort of pauses, and you can see it standing up taller, drops Reynolds, turns around, looks you dead in the eyes, Glenn, and you hear this unnatural billowing sound as it leans down and charges towards you.
Oh, Lord.
As it gets close to the point where you think it's maybe 5 meters away, you can see its eyes are flaring red. And for a moment, your brain sort of goes, is that a dragon? And then you go, no, wait, it's not. But that's definitely fire coming out of its mouth. As it snorts almost like a ray of fire coming towards you, you take 3 harm.
Oh.
Now, it is reduced by any armor you're wearing. So if you're wearing one
Yes,
armor,
I have.
it's...
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that means you only take 2 harm.
Oh, boy.
So this thing sort of rushes past and seems to be pausing again, stomping. And you can tell this is not a controlled creature anymore. This is something that's acting in blind range at having been interrupted. What do the rest of you do?
I want to throw up a wall in front of it.
All right. It sounds like you're using magic.
Yeah, my combat magic. So I have to roll to kick some ass with plus weird instead of plus tough.
Perfect.
And I may need to act under pressure to cast a spell without problems. So
I'll say just roll me to kick some ass with your weird at this point.
okay. Come on, I want to put up that wind wall. Come on.
9.
So that's
Not bad. So because you are putting up a barrier, this is going to help you decently. So as it turns around and prepares to charge again, your wall goes up. Describe to me what it looks like. How do you cast this?
So Ryan hurriedly reaches into his pocket and he pulls out oh god, what is it called? Okay, well, he pulls out a pocket watch and he holds it up and he just says wind wall and just makes a circle in the air and a green wall of wind just spreads out in front of him.
Excellent. So the creature seems genuinely taken aback by the wall. You can tell that it was trying to rush at you, but the wall seems to be holding it back, like slowing it down to the point where it can't actually get to you this round. However, it still looks unharmed.
This is tougher than I thought. This is very much tougher than I thought.
So, Winter and Ven, what are you doing?
Then is going to be diving behind Ryan and desperately trolling through their memories in search of something like this they encountered before, as I tap my dark past.
Excellent. So with the dark past, roll me your weird. Nice, that's a 12. So on a 10 plus, you get to ask me 2 of these questions.
When I dealt with this creature or one of its kind, what did I learn?
You know, this is a minotaur. They are intricately linked to their maze or their labyrinth. And it's a symbiotic relationship. You reckon that if one of them is destroyed, the other will be far easier to take down. You also know that minotaurs have an extremely thick hide that makes them very resistant to harm. They can be harmed, it's just it takes a lot to get through. All right, what's your second question?
I think I'm gonna fall back on that good old standard of what black magic do I know that could help here? Because the solution to every problem is definitely black magic.
Let me have a look. So, let me see. Ooh. You reckon that there's the standard, that magical damage often ignores regular armor. So that if you have a magical weapon, that could work. If you inflict magical harm through magic, that could also work. You also think that if you choose to destroy the maze or labyrinth itself, it's a cornfield. They can burn.
That was my first impulse, is set it on fire.
Keep in mind, however, that you're in the middle of it. And so is an unconscious person.
Consequences.
Yeah. Just giving you that heads up, because I know people are like, if I can burn it, I will. You do reckon that something like setting the maze on fire without being hurt, that would require big magic.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to also shield Reynolds.
Yeah.
All right, Winter, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and cast... I'm going to use the Jinx move.
All right. Let me just open your sheet up.
Plus weird.
Mm-hmm.
And with an 11...
You get to hold 2, so 2 of those things.
So first, I want to inflict 1 harm on a target due to an accident, the target being the Minotaur. And I think I want the Minotaur to lose something that I will soon find. Okay. Maybe Reynolds.
I mean, Reynolds has been dropped already. So he's unconscious in the middle of this circle.
So
the Minotaur... So he's dropped him to rush at you.
Okay. In that case, maybe just interfere with which we're already doing. Can I inflict harm twice?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'll help the hunter by giving them +1 forward by interfering with their enemy.
All right. Are you helping one person in particular, or
Whoever's next.
whoever does the next thing? Okay.
Yeah, that
So,
probably makes the most sense.
what happens is that this wall of wind that it's currently struggling to get out of intensifies. So you combine your magic with what Ryan has already done, pushing past this armor to where you can see mild bruising appear just in one spot on this creature. That's the first thing that happens. You think with the combined efforts, you just pushed past to do a tiny amount of damage to this thing. And whoever rolls next, Winter, how are you helping them? Are you giving instructions? Are you pointing out a weak spot? What are you doing?
I feel like in my mind, I kind of want the monster to like slip in the mud.
So you want to effectively hope that. Are you using the wall of wind for this?
Yeah,
Or...
I think just like so I'm interfering with the monster by doing like I guess I'm just like kind of combining those two things. So
yep.
like,
so
what I'm doing is kind of like making it inflict harm and stuff, and it's kind of distracted by what I'm doing to, open up a +1 forward for the next person.
okay. So I think we're back to Glenn. That gun of yours didn't do much.
But I have.
What do you do?
Well, similarly to Eshi, I have only one solution to the problems.
All right.
My equivalent of black magic is bigger guns.
Do you have a bigger gun?
Of course, because Minotaur got angered and inflicted harm on me. So I'm get angry too. You beep bastard, and I'm removing my sort of shotgun from my what's on the hands, parts of the clothes? Sleeve. Oh, stupid brain. Remove shotgun from my sleeve and fire from both barrels.
All right. So, roll me a plus tough, please. With 1 point of added.
I didn't add, so it's 9.
Okay, so it's a 9. Excellent. Same thing as before. Both you and this Minotaur are going to inflict harm on each other. It's gonna hurt, but your shot lands, and you can tell that this bruising that it started to get before, you've done that same amount of damage to it again. As
even shooting bigger gun?
Yep, before your other gun did nothing. This one
okay.
did a bit, but nowhere near what it should have done. And it rushes at you, and it grabs you. And as you stare into its flaming red eyes, it bites down on your shoulder for 2 harm reduced by any of your armor.
So 1.
Yes. And you can hear unnatural, inhuman sounds close to those of a raging bull coming from right next to your ear. This thing is loud, it is angry, and you reckon that if you stick around here, and if it decides to snort fire in your face,
That may
that's
hurt.
going to be painful. All right. What are the rest of you doing as this Minotaur, despite being shot at pretty close range with a shotgun, seems only minorly inconvenienced as it lunges for Glenn, biting into his shoulder.
I would like to attempt to use magic to trap a specific person, minion, or monster, and trap mean this Minotaur right now.
Yep. Uh, I'm happy you decided to clarify which of the one monsters you want for. But yeah, roll me your weirdness.
I really, truly need you to stay put. Fortunately not. Another
A
experience, though.
Minotaur. Yeah. This Minotaur is unimpressed with the fact that you just tried telling it what to do. Roughly. It sort of looks up, throws Glenn to the side, turns around,
Oh no.
and you reckon that if nothing happens very soon, that thing is going to rush at you.
I see where I was
uh,
mistaken.
Then what are you doing as Winter seems to be off in the void for the moment?
I think I'm going to use the fact that it is distracted by Ryan to draw my blessed knife. And
Go for it.
yeah, leap upon it, stabbing mightily.
All right. So sounds like you're trying to kick some ass. Would I be correct?
That's the idea.
All right.
We'll see
go
about
for
that.
it.
No. Asses remain unkicked.
Well,
other
as you-
asses, mine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the Minotaur is fine. You go to stab at it, but this thing, again, it's very angry. Its hide is very, very thick, and it sort of just slaps you aside as you try to stab it, and bites into your arm for 2 points of harm, reduced by any armor.
Can I blow luck for that?
Yes.
I would like to reduce all of the harm from that.
All right, that's 1 point of luck, please.
Yes.
Oh no.
All right. Winter, are you available to take an action? If not, well, yes.
I can do that. Yes.
Hello.
Where are we at with the monster? How close is he to dead?
Oh, very far.
Very far.
Yeah, no, this is roughly the. You reckon that, honestly, he's barely inconvenienced. This is a tough one. Physical harm seems to do very little to it unless you get to like extreme levels, and that's when it starts hurting.
Huh.
You saw him take a shotgun almost point blank, and it was as if someone had slapped him.
Dear God. Well, I'm gonna stick with the magic. What does magic do?
What are you trying to make it do?
I think I want to try and communicate with it.
Okay. So are you using one of your special moves, or are you just using regular use magic?
Just use magic. And use magic uses it says I can communicate with something that I do not share a language with. I'm assuming we don't
Yes.
share a language. Because I would probably do something like say, hey dude, in English, and it probably won't respond.
It does look at you.
Do you understand me?
It doesn't seem interested in having a conversation. However, it's hard to tell if that's because it has other priorities or because it doesn't understand you.
Ah.
It's kind of busy being, attacked by things, hurting things in return.
What if I try to manipulate it?
Monsters can't be manipulated.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have a feeling that things in a monstrous form are very rarely prone to being manipulated, especially with this thing that's now very, very enraged.
Let's see.
It's not
I'm gonna-
human enough right now for you to manipulate it.
Yeah, I'll probably just try to jinx it again.
Okay.
It's just a roll
Roll.
plus weird.
I believe it is.
So that's 9.
9 points. That means for your jinx, you get to hold 1.
All right. So I can use that one to inflict 1 harm on the target due to an accident.
Okay, so I'll say that what happens when you do that is because it turns around to look at you, it actually trips, letting go of Ven. But in a moment that I'm sure this Minotaur would rather no one knew about, it actually manages to land partially on that knife.
Ooh.
For a total of 1 point of harm, I'm pretty sure it does.
Yep.
Yeah. Bit of a slip up.
Yeah. And then I think maybe
Raven-
Winter's going to turn around and bolt because I can't have to go do a. I have to go run an errand.
Yes, no worries.
But I'll be listening. We'll be driving too.
Fair enough. So yeah,
Maybe back, maybe not, depending. But thanks
keeping an eye on
everybody.
the situation. All right.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we'll catch you next week. Right. Thank you, Winter and Kat. To the rest of you, as you're keeping an eye on the situation here, it's starting to look a little hurt. You have a feeling that if it could get away and rest, it would be okay. But it's going to take you a while to wear this thing down with your current strategy.
Well, I will. I will once again try to trap this thing.
All right. Go for it.
I mean,
Roll me or use magic.
yeah. Yeah, I think Riot actually runs up to it and
You do have that D4 still available because you only took 1.
No, I
forward,
spent
right?
mine.
Sorry.
I spent mine. Yeah. So actually, Ryan's gonna run up to it, chanting, and jump onto it, and pull out. Actually, he's gonna pull out the hat and put it on his head as he chants, and he starts making motions with the other hand. Basically, probably the
All
equivalent of,
right.
"Please stay here.
Go
Be
for
trapped, for God's sakes."
it. It's a 9.
9.
Okay. So, ooh. The Minotaur freezes in place, almost as if it's currently hypnotized by you. It stops fighting and it looks at you. Its eyes no longer red. And you feel as if that rage has been broken. It's still a Minotaur. This thing is still dangerous, but you have a feeling, just based on how it's been acting, that it is short on time. And if you could trap this thing here and wait, maybe that would be enough. However, it's not going to last as long as it normally would, because though the spell did go off successfully, it wasn't quite as strong as it should have been.
I've got it for now, but it shall be back soon, my friends. We best, I don't know, you have some rope or something? Because this really, really won't be good.
Can I roll preparedness to see if I have like some logging chain on, like available?
Yeah, you
Not
have
on me, but
I mean, you do have a special move, and if you pull it off completely, you'll have it on you. If it's imperfect, it's going to be probably that you have it in the van. So yeah, you can absolutely roll to see if you do.
no,
Nope.
absolutely not.
Again, you left a lot of things. It's probably right next to the police radio.
Boy.
It would be.
So for now, the creature is trapped. You don't know for how long.
Damn. What to do? What to do? It was going towards this cave, right?
It was going to what looks like an entrance or a portal or something in the corn itself. You can just have a closer look if you want to know.
Oh, in that case, I'm going to approach that and I'm going to use magic again to try to bar the Minotaur from entering that place.
Okay, so please roll me a use magic in that case.
Yeah, and the effect is bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature.
Yep.
So Minotaurs will be that type. Come on, please. Be merciful.
So
7.
you do successfully manage to bar this place from entry. However, all of you feel as if you're, you know, when you're trying to lean against extremely strong wind to try to remain standing. All of you feel like you're being dragged towards this entryway, including Reynolds, who's sort of sliding along the ground.
Oh no. Oh. This is not good. This is very not good. Anyone else have anything? Okay, well.
All of my stuff is back at the shop.
We're all going to die and no one has anything to say.
Can't you do something with mine? I mean, the enchanted, fill it with juju, whatever. Do the voodoo stuff. They think you do.
It's magic. It is magic, not voodoo, not just magic. God. Seeing as we're sliding, I will try to. I'll cast the wind wall on myself to stop us from going through.
Okay, roll me your magic.
what it's kick some ass. So I'm going to kick my own ass to
Oh yeah,
prevent
that's true. Actually, for this, because you're not trying to attack anything, how about you roll me act under pressure instead? Because this is more about stress than trying to kick some ass.
Mm.
No, 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 no. Oh shit.
No.
No.
It's hard when you're being, in the middle of what effectively feels like a mild hurricane. So you do put up a wall, it's just not where it needed to be.
Oh no.
You're still sliding slowly, but it's not impossible.
I'm gonna. I want to.
Um,
Anyone else got anything?
then you do remember from what you know about minotaurs is that they are susceptible to magical harm. However, a magical weapon is able to ignore a lot of armor.
Yeah, but my magical weapon is trash.
Can't you enchant mine?
Keep in mind,
I
anyone can use magic, it's just how good you are at it.
actually, yeah,
It's a basic move.
I think I would like to try and enchant Glenn's big gun.
Okay. So roll to use your magic, please. That's your weird. It's a 7. The gun is indeed enchanted, which does
I give a pointed
it...
look at Ryan.
You what?
A pointed
Glenn?
look.
Your weapon does 1 more harm than normal, and you know that this thing you're holding, it's not just dealing regular shotgun damage. This is magical shotgun damage.
Wait, where's Reynolds?
Reynolds is sort of slowly sliding towards this opening.
Damn it.
Now, what does happen is that you can tell the Minotaur is realizing what's happening. It's looking in sheer panic at that shotgun, and it's starting to fight the bonds of its trap. You can tell it's trying to shake off this magic.
No.
What do you all do?
I'm reloading the shotgun.
To save Reynolds
All right.
or to help with the Minotaur? Uh, I look at Reynolds and I say, so sorry. Good luck. And then I'll run towards the Minotaur. And
Okay.
seeing it fight its bonds, I'm going to use magic again. Using so much magic.
I told
Before
you,
you
black
do-
magic is the solution to all problems.
Before you do, Glenn, you've successfully reloaded your shotgun.
Well, this-
not to risk hitting Ryan, I would also have to shorten the distance. I'm running. I want to shoot it point blank, so I'm running too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, what I'm doing is connected to that. Ryan will, because helping wouldn't really be. Well, I am helping in a way. I'm gonna
Tell
use
me what
magic.
you're trying to do.
I'm gonna use
Okay.
magic to do one thing that is beyond human limitations. Can't believe it.
All right.
This is so dumb. Ryan,
Welcome to Monster of the Week.
Ryan, seeing that his bonds will soon be broken, is gonna put it in a fucking basically gonna put it in a full Nelson.
Okay. Can
Try
you
to
roll to use your magic, please?
So I'm gonna try to put it in a full Nelson.
You do. Glenn and Ben,
That's fucking glorious.
you see this shabby magician who has not had the best of luck suddenly turn into almost like a pro wrestler in how he moves. And this gigantic minotaur, who's close to 7 feet tall, is suddenly no match for Ryan. What did the two of you do?
For God's sakes, shoot it! Shoot it!
The fraction of the second I can touch him with the barrel of my shotgun, I pull both triggers. Of course, touching the barrels to the parts that are pretty far from Ryan.
All right. So, you still need to, I'm pretty sure. Let me look how your weapon works. Give me 1 second. That's you.
This wouldn't also
Okay.
be what's helping out, right?
So it's not that you take 2 shots at once. No, that's not how it works. So effectively, you can get this shot off and you don't even need to roll to hit. However, you need to reload in between every shot.
Oh, so it's one barrel. Okay. I simply imagined wrong weapon.
Yeah, like it fires both barrels simultaneously. So you can't shift. Like that's its full capacity.
Operated it correctly, just imagined it.
All right. So
I pulled the one trigger. The result is exactly what I wanted anyway.
you pull the trigger. It does a lot of harm. This creature is almost howling in pain. You reckon one more shot might do it? It's definitely very injured.
Hold on, Ryan, I yell.
Just hold it, okay?
Hold on.
For
Then
God's sakes,
what do
man.
you do? Ryan's wrestling a giant minotaur. Glenn is reloading a shotgun after having fired it into a creature point blank. What do you do with yourself?
I'm just kind of shaking my head, baffled at the situation. I've done the magic I can do. My weapons are not a thing that I'm good with. So I am going to go after Reynolds and save him in order to roll him for any weapons he might have.
I look as he runs away. You can't be serious.
My knife doesn't work.
Leave him.
So you run up to Reynolds, who you then pat down, I imagine. Do you check for a pulse while you're at it, or no?
If he's alive, it'll come up sooner or later.
I love that. You don't find any weapons that you reckon might do the trick. He effectively has a knife that's worse than yours. It is not enchanted.
Can I grab him and pull him away from the portal in order to throw him at the Minotaur as a distraction?
I mean, yes. You're, however, not sure if the Minotaur can be more distracted. But you can sure try to drag him along. It might take you a while to drag him with the wind still happening. So as the wind is absolutely howling, Ryan is wrestling a Minotaur. Then is trying to lift a tiny little unconscious man to throw at a monster. Glenn, you finally reload that shotgun.
I stick it exactly in the wound and pull the trigger again. pointing it
And-
upwards.
The enchantment still lasts. And with a pained groan, the Minotaur collapses lifeless. Ryan, can you just roll me a act under pressure to see if you end up underneath this thing?
Oh, for sure. I want it to turn out this way, but I'll still roll. Under pressure is cool. Okay, good.
Yep. Well, you get
So-
experience.
The rolls are with me.
So,
The rolls are with me.
as for a moment, you're like, oh, this is working out great. And then you realize that those horns are pretty sharp.
Oh no.
And as you both hit the ground, one of them pierces your shoulder for a total of 2 harm.
Why? Why?
But the creature is dead. The maze around you starts to crumble, and all that's left is a regular old crop circle.
I would also like to say that that failed roll just leveled me up.
All right, we'll do that between sessions. So the Minotaur is defeated. Reynolds is blissfully unaware that you nearly threw him at a Minotaur. And the portal appears to be closing completely now that the creature that resided there is gone. You do see as the mist sort of clears, both literally and figuratively, as you start to get your wits back about you, you do see the remains of the 2 missing teenagers. Yeah, it's a bit of a gruesome scene, as sadly you didn't get there quite in time. But for now, you're all safe, and that is where we're going to end today's session.
I'm totally stripping that Minotaur from parts.
Yes. Ryan actually looks at at you and says, I am a master of magic.
Just still kind of in awe from the sweet wrestling move. Just yeah.
But
Yeah,
guns are the way.
So, as we wrap up today's session, I would like to hear from each of you, and you do get to decide your own orders, given that there's currently 3 people in attendance. Oh no, we're back. Is Kat back? No, almost. Well, Kat, if you do come
Partially.
back, wow, as if summoned. I would like to hear from each of you. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And if there's anything else you would like to share. Let's start with Ryan and the person playing him, for that matter.
It's got to be the full Nelson on a Minotaur. It has to be. Oh man, what an insane move.
That was glorious.
What a crazy idea. I'm so sorry. What else did you want me to cover?
Where can we find you next? And is there anything else you want to mention, like an ongoing project or something like that?
Next I'll be back on this channel next Monday for another game. Forget the time. But it's Fleshmaker's Folly. It'll be on Monday. You'll see me there. It's fun. As for any projects I have, none at the moment. trying to find something to do to keep me busy during this time of quarantine. But overall, just having fun here with the monster of the week.
Fantastic. And yeah, next up is Eshi.
I gotta say, full Nelsoning a Minotaur is hard to beat. That was a beautiful scene. And then blowing it in half with a shotgun. It's just icing and cakes everywhere. As for where you'll see me next, I'm right there with Par. Monday at 1, Fleshmaker's Folly. In addition to that, I do, like I said, very little GM craft. I take commissions.
Awesome. All right, Kat, you're up.
I don't know. I like interacting with the owl. Other highlights are maps. We need a map for reasons. And the full Nelson on the Minotaur was pretty classic. I'll be back on this channel on Monday, but at 7 p.m. for an adventure I don't think we quite have a name for yet. And that's me.
Perfect. All right. 50% chance of getting the pronunciation right. Akino?
Yeah.
Yes!
You can't get it
taken
wrong
me a while.
because I'm still not sure how it should be pronounced. So
I keep
you can't
inventing
get it
new
wrong.
pronunciations, and I'm like, I've seen your name so many times, had it so many times, and my brain is like,
I think everything you do with vowels is good, as long as you get the K, not sh or chi.
yeah, that's what I tend to screw up on.
So
But
as long
yeah,
it's
what
K,
was your
it's good.
favorite
So,
part?
not to copy the Nelson, but because it's obvious answer. I loved the sheriff wondering, should she accept the help or just arrest them to just like they were standing there under suspicion they have something to do with the missing people, kids.
Yeah, she wasn't entirely sure why you're all with her. All right, so where can we find you next? And anything else you want to share?
Same hour tomorrow on another new game here on Blackfeather Guild. I will be playing some funny alien.
I love that. I'll be playing an alien. It will be funny.
Well, I don't know if the game will be funny. I don't know if the alien will be funny, but I will be aiming for both.
Fantastic. All right. Any other last thing you want to mention?
No, pretty much. I think till tomorrow I'm going to be asleep. So, this game, sleep, next game.
Perfect. All right, and yeah, gosh, I do think the half Nelson or the full Nelson was my favorite moment, just because I did not see that coming. But also the lot of you just failing to talk to people was great fun. It's like, how can we creep them out asking for a map? Was pretty good. Yeah, next you can find me. I too will be back for this time slot tomorrow. And after that, I'm going to be on my own channel with a game called Drunken Meaningful Conversations, which is one of our regular D&D campaigns. So yeah, that's pretty much it for us. And I'll hand everything over to Raven. If she's still around, I hope she is.
Yes, there we go. Sorry, my cat decided to knock something over at the exact moment I was getting ready to switch to the next scene. Yeah, that was fantastic. Well done, everyone. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna go on a raid. We've got a raid cry here, which is we just need a map for reasons. And yeah, we're actually gonna go raid this really cool person. Their name's Polished Cryptid. So we're gonna go raid your channel. So stick around for that, and then we'll be back tonight in about 2.5 hours. For our Friday night community one shots. I'll be jamming a horror escape from a haunted asylum type game running fundamental RPG. If you are familiar with the Badlands campaign that we've run for the past 3 seasons, this is in that same world, in a very familiar asylum with a very familiar big bad evil guy. So if you're a fan of Badlands, definitely you'll want to check that out. If you're a fan of horror, you'll also want to check it out just because it's going to be super spooky. But yeah, we're going to go on a raid. So I'm going to put us on our raiding screen. We've got our raid cry there. And I will see you all in a couple of hours. Bye.